welcome to our video analysis of the New Year's addresses of world leaders. As we begin a new year, it's important to reflect on the past and look to the future. New Year addresses of the leaders of the countries are not only an attempt by politicians to join the celebration, it is a kind of summary of the state's life in the past year, as well as an outline of priorities for the future. Some of the leaders address before the new year, some, as in the USA, Great Britain, or the Czech Republic, at Christmas. After the fateful year of 2022 for Ukraine, it was interesting to see whether and how world leaders will remember our war. Let's start with the aggressor. Putin, of course, could not avoid the war he had unleashed in his address. Against the background of failures at the front and hundreds of thousands of casualties, he wanted to show determination and solidarity. So he spoke against the background of soldiers, men and women, representatives of various ethnic groups of the Russian Federation. Some experts, however, have doubts whether this is sometimes not a combined shooting, and whether these are real soldiers. His rhetoric is quite aggressive. He spoke about the need to defend Russia's sovereignty and difficult but correct decisions. Nothing original. Lukashenko emphasized that last year was peaceful for Belarus. In his opinion, the country was open to refugees, especially Ukrainian ones. The dictator did not give any concrete answer to the question of whether Belarus will manage not to get involved in the war this year, saying that everything depends on each of us and on all of us together. However, the fact that Lukashenko declared 2023 the year of peace and creation indicates that he is resisting Putin's pressure. Biden did not mention Ukraine in his Christmas address, but he also did not comment on international politics at all. The entire address was devoted to domestic issues of overcoming COVID and political polarization. King Charles spoke about his late mother and internal British issues. Rishi Sunak decided not to record his Christmas address. Instead, he called various government officials and wished them a happy holiday in person. Among the employees was also an employee of the British Embassy in Ukraine, Svetlana Yavorska, who worked in Kiev, then was evacuated in Warsaw and now in Lviv. In his address, Olaf Scholz expressed clear support for Ukraine, called Putin's war imperialist, and noted that as a result of the war, prices in Germany have risen, but the country will not give in to Russia's energy blackmail. Scholz thanked the compatriots who provided shelter to Ukrainian refugees and assured that he would continue to support our country. In his address, Emmanuel Macron called for helping Ukraine to win and assured that France would help build a just and lasting peace. Andrzej Duda began his address with the war in Ukraine, thanked his compatriots for their hospitality to refugees, and spoke about the need to build defense capabilities. Czech Republic President Miloš Zeman called the war in Ukraine the most important event in international relations last year. There was no pro-Russian note in his address. He admitted that it is beneficial to maintain friendly relations with Russia because of its energy resources, but the principles of international relations are much more important. Zuzana Chaputova, despite the difficult government crisis in Slovakia, also spoke a lot about our war and the need for support in her address. The president of Romania, Klaus Iohannis, noted that the war is taking place close to the borders of the country, but the crisis it provoked is being overcome by Romanians in solidarity. Mias Andu spoke about the fact that Moldovans see with their own eyes the horrors of the war in Ukraine, and the country responded to fear with kindness and came to the rescue. Recep Tayyip Erdogan built a speech around the centenary of the Republic, which Turkey will celebrate in October, talked a lot about economic development, and mentioned Ukraine only in the context of the fact that the war caused economic difficulties that also affected Turkey. Xi Jinping did not mention the war in Ukraine in his address, but hinted that China is interested in global peace. We stand firmly on the right side of history, on the side of human civilization and progress. We are working hard to convey Chinese wisdom and ideas for the peace and development of all mankind. Japanese Prime Minister said Japan will play a key role in diplomacy in 2023 as the G7 summit will be held there and Japan will become a member of the UN Security Council. The Prime Minister called the war in Ukraine a historic event and the situation with peace the worst since the end of the Second World War. To summarize, all our neighbors are worried about the war, even those who started it. For serious international players, Our war is not a marginal conflict on the periphery, but an important problem, the solution of which they continue to work. In conclusion, the war in Ukraine has been a significant concern for the international community, with many leaders expressing support and calling for an end to the conflict. As we move forward into the new year, let's hope for a peaceful resolution to the ongoing crisis. Don't forget to like and subscribe to our channel for more informative and insightful videos like this one. We appreciate your support and will continue to bring you the latest updates and analysis on current events. Thank you for watching.